Welcome to the quarterfinals of the 1982 World Cup with these four games. The classic match between England and West Germany kicked off the quarterfinals. The two arch-rivals gave it their all, and the game hit the ground running. The German team had the first chance after just 2 minutes thanks to center forward Horst Hrubesch, who is feared for his heading ability. The German team started like a house on fire and had a chance from the second row after a corner kick. Paul Breitner, the veteran from Bayern Munich, didn't let this opportunity slip by and sent the ball into the net with a powerful shot. A perfect start for the 1954 and 1974 world champions. But the Three Lions took the early setback in stride. The team's confidence was high after a very good tournament so far, and Brian Koppel of Manchester United, one of the best English players in the World Cup, scored the equalizer. So far, the English defenders have managed to keep Germany's star player Karl-Heinz Rummenigge out of the game, but the FC Bayern player also knows how to fight his way back into a game and didn't give up on any ball. Midfielder Felix Magath of the German champions from Hamburg scored with this precise shot shortly before halftime to restore the lead. The English team equalized shortly after the halftime break, and it was one of the craziest goals of the World Cup. A long-range shot by Brian Robson first hit the crossbar, but then bounced off it and hit the head of Germany's number 1, Toni Schumacher, before finally rolling over the line. Rummenigge rarely managed to break through like this. However, his shot was saved by Peter Shilton. The players of the Hamburg championship team were among the most notable German players today. After one of the feared crosses from right-back Kaltz, Magath missed his second goal with a spectacular attempt. But there was one thing you could always count on in German football at that time. Manny Kaltz crosses from the right, and in the middle, Horst Hrubesch waits and heads the ball into the net. That's how Hamburg won the championship, and that's how the German team celebrates its well-deserved advance to the semifinals. The opponent had already been determined that afternoon in the match between Poland and Italy. In a game dominated by tactics, the Poles had the best chance through Smolarek, who, however, was stopped by Zoff. The decision was not made until the penalty shootout. Antonio Cabrini gave Italy the lead. Boniek was in the spotlight because of his transfer to Juventus, but he scored just as reliably as his future teammate Tardelli. Smolarek was then the first Polish player to miss, advantage Italy. With Rossi, another Juventus player has scored, putting Poland under even more pressure. But Lotto didn't let that faze him and scored with absolute confidence. Udinese winger Causio was next. Italy's players have shown strong nerves so far. Poland couldn't afford any more mistakes. Kupchewicz couldn't handle the pressure. His harmless attempt was easily saved by goalkeeping legend Dino Zoff. Italy is in the semifinals, where it will face West Germany. Host Spain was the clear favorite against the surprise team from Hungary and got off to a perfect start. The chemistry between the two forwards, Cetrostegui and Lopez Ufarte from two-time champions Real Sociedad, gave them the lead. Since New Zealand's Mackay scored in the 28th minute of the opening match, Spain had gone 400 minutes without conceding a goal. But that streak came to an end when Paolo scored the equalizer for a strong Hungarian side. The game seemed headed for extra time, but the Spaniards, driven on by their fans, pushed for a decisive goal in stoppage time. Real Madrid winger Juanito brought the stadium to a fever pitch with his winning goal. By now, at the latest, the tournament was a complete success for La Furia Roja. Despite the bitter defeat, the Hungarian team can be proud of itself. Spain's semi-final opponent will be determined in the last quarterfinal between Brazil and Belgium. Belgium proved to be a tough nut to crack for the three-time world champions. But after Milikamp's fouled Brazilian forward Eder, they had a great chance to take the lead from the resulting penalty kick. Captain Socrates stepped up and scored. Goalkeeper Faf had guessed the right corner, but couldn't reach the precise shot from the Corinthians player. But Belgium struck back and equalized through Vandenberg. The forward saw Brazil's goalkeeper Waldir Perez standing too far off his goal and surprised him with this clever lob, which is sure to find its way into one or another World Cup highlight reel. The equalizer had a noticeable effect on the Brazilians, and the Belgians almost took the lead. Vandenberg lost his footing at the wrong moment and missed the open net. The replay shows how close it was. What a lucky escape for the Seleção. The spectators in Madrid got their money's worth. A cooperation between two Flamengo players put the South Americans back in the lead. Zico controlled the ball well and then played a perfectly timed pass to left-back Junior, who gave Faf no chance. The Brazilians survived the rest of the game with great fighting spirit and will now face the host nation from Spain in the semifinals. Here are the quarterfinal results at a glance. In the next episode, we'll crown the 1982 world champion. The matches between West Germany and Italy, as well as Spain and Brazil, promise to be exciting. Who is your favorite to win the World Cup? Let us know in the comments. Thank you again for watching and for supporting this channel. See you next week for the final episode of the 1982 World Cup, replayed in PS 2008 on the legendary PlayStation 2.